So what attracted you to this project?
I read these stories when I was really little. My parents read them to me. I had all the little tiny books. I had a big giant book, and I loved the images. I loved the stories. I loved that there was a little bit of scare in them. That there was things that were a little scary. You know, Peter's dad got put in a pie. That's scary, because when you're little, you want to have that thrill. And so when the option to kind of make this into a movie came about, we just knew we had to do it. We knew we could make something that felt very modern with the sort of voice of Peter and his impetuousness and mischievousness, that also could be beautiful and gorgeous and timeless.
Yes, I watched the movie the other night,
great.
and I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of laughs, and I love how the comedy suits, you know, children as well as adults on all different levels.
Very intentional. Yeah. Yes, I mean Will has kids, and he knows that a movie only works for little kids if the parents want to come and bring them, and he wanted to make sure this was something that parents could love and think is funny, and then little kids would be screaming with laughter. Yes. Did you recognize Sydney in the movie?
I did, yes. And then I had to Google. I was like, "Was this shot in Australia?"
Yeah. Some of it was, yes.
Now, how was the casting process? Because it's quite an incredible cast, and everyone was very well suited to their characters.
The fun part of a movie like this is that people want to make movies for their families and for their kids. And so Rose and Will had worked together before, knew each other very well, and she was the first person he called, and she was in 100%. James, there's no one else I could imagine that would ever be this character but James. And of course he had grown up loving it and was in from the day one. And everyone else, I mean, Will, it wasn't a process of sort of normal casting. Will called people up and said, I want to talk to you about this movie, and sat with them and talked about their characters and talked about why he wanted to do this movie and what it meant, and everyone sort of came into it with this idea of we want to make something really fun for our families and fun for kids all over the world.
Wow, well, congratulations. I think you've done that. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey